Welcome everyone to the Inland Sports Show. Before we start the show, make sure you like this video and you've subscribed to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. And if you're a local business or organization and you'd like to promote yourself on this show, just send us an email, inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. The show starts right now. Garcia's left-footed. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Inland Sports Show at Home Edition. I am your host, Pep Fernandez. We are not in the Teen Vision TV 16 studio tonight. Our Inland Sports Director, Johnny Nunez, had a school event. Like, what is bigger than the Inland Sports Show, right? Johnny boy, we love you, man. Can't wait to be back in studio next week. But we got a really fun show for you. In just a moment, we're going to hear from the Beaumont football team head coach Jeff Steinberg, star quarterback Chris Cooper, and a special guest as the Cougars, for the first time in their football program history, going out of state. They will take on Dixie in Utah on Friday night. Later in the show, we will also check in with Riverside Sport Hall of Fame President Jennifer Goldware. The Hall of Fame doing some really cool things in the community, trying to grow membership, and they've got some really big names coming in to the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame, so that's very exciting. And for the first time on the Inland Sports Show, we're going to debut Alexander Mattison's I Am Gifted Athletes of the Week. So the way it's going to work is every week throughout the fall season, Alexander Mattison is going to award one boy and one girl his I Am Gifted Athlete of the Week award, going specifically to athletes in the city of San Bernardino. And then at the end of the season in December, they're going to get a very, very cool reward at the end, a special gift for being the Athlete of the Year. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say it yet. But when I get the clearance, and maybe as early as next week, I'll let you guys know, because it is very, very cool. So we will unveil the Week 1 winners of the I Am Gifted Award. All right, first, let's check in with the Beaumont football team. As we mentioned, the Cougars going on the road to Utah, taking on Dixie. Cougars are 3-0 right now. Hot start. They cracked the top 10 in the Boost Top 25 poll, trying to move to 4-0 on the season. And, not a big surprise. Coach Jeff Steinberg has another great quarterback in Chris Cooper, and they're putting up a lot of points, and they've already beaten some really good teams early on in the season. So here's our interview with the Beaumont Cougars. Inland Sports. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show as we dive into Week 3 of the high school football season. These guys are red hot. They are undefeated. They're scoring a lot of points. It's the Beaumont Cougars. We got head coach Jeff Steinberg. We got quarterback Chris Cooper. And coach, your ball boy looks a lot like you back there, I think.
Yeah. Jason, my son's now in the mix too. He gets to be on the sidelines this year.
A whole family affair out there in Beaumont. You guys are 3-0 right now. You got a big game coming up on the road at Dixie in Utah. Before we talk about that matchup, Coach, going 3-0 and beating some good teams along the way to get to 3-0, what has impressed you so far about this year's Beaumont team?
Really, the level of maturity to go one game at a time. They're not getting ahead of themselves. They kind of keep whatever's up next in front of us, and not dwell on maybe past mistakes or look too far into the future. And it's really just kind of like, okay, what's coming up next, and what do we need to do this week to improve as a team.
And the guy on screen right, but your left, your quarterback, Chris Cooper, how important has his role been in this 3-0 start this season?
Real huge, and Chris has played really good football, throwing well, making his reads. His completion percentage has been pretty high. taken off when he needs to, which is kind of like a new dimension this year. But I really think the best stuff are the things that don't show up in the stat sheet. It's the film study during the week. It's being a great leader, being great on the sidelines with his teammates, and understanding how we're just trying to incorporate more guys into the game plan.
Coach, before I get to Chris, I did want to ask you about that because you've coached some all-time great quarterbacks, and they can be fast, they can have a big arm, decision making, all those things. But what Chris has, what Blake Barnett has, Karsten Sween, like all these guys just along your journey, your coaching path, what do these guys all have in common, you think, that makes them great, that kind of separates them from other guys?
Yeah, so like I think the thing that sets guys like that apart are number one is all of those guys are just super competitive. Like probably hate to lose more than they like to win. I know it's a little cliche, but that's one thing that sticks out with those guys. And then just always wanting to get better and finding time to work on their game. And whether it's watching film, there's always they always feel like it's like an unfinished product, that they're always trying to strive towards something. And I think those two things are forget about born with some great skill and stuff, which obviously helps. But I think those are the two things that the best guys that I've had the opportunity to coach, and Chris is on that list. That's kind of where it starts.
And then Chris, go back maybe 2 years ago as a sophomore to where you are right now. How do you feel like you've developed, how you've changed, how you've improved?
Mentally, I feel like it's kind of just maturity. Definitely being an older guy, kind of thanking my guys like Gabe Nunez and stuff like that, kind of helped me climb. And then, kind of realizing that football at the end of the day is just a game. Don't overthink it, and then the guys on the sideline, the guys in the locker room with you, ultimately going to help you get to the end goal. So kind of just the mental part is huge. Then physical, just being relentless in the off season, any chance I get, it's kind of what has helped me to be who I am today.
Chris, in terms of mindset, does it help going into a game, especially a big game, and just reminding yourself, this is fun, man. We play football to have fun. Winning is fun. Does it kind of help your mindset to kind of relax and make sure you're enjoying the process?
Yeah, 110%, because I feel like in the past, when the games that I look back and dang, I honestly feel like I could do 500 if I wasn't so tense, but, I kind of just I kind of went to the game trying to put too much pressure on myself, but the games I laugh and have fun is just kind of the ones I remember the most. And I feel like I've lost the game, but I had so much fun, and it was I literally went home immediately, and it was just okay, I hate losing, but it was I played my best football because I was under control and I wasn't tense, and I didn't feel like I have a huge monkey on my back trying to tell me to do this and this and this, when it was kind of just being relaxed and let loose and just play football.
Now, Chris, I think the biggest win in your high school career is still in front of you, a game that you have yet to play yet. But looking at the games that you've played so far at Beaumont, is there a game that sticks out to you as your biggest win? Maybe you had your best game, or it was the biggest win for the team at the time. Is there a game that sticks out to you?
Yeah, definitely. I think my sophomore year, when we played San Jacinto, we lost to them in the regular season. And honestly, we shouldn't have. Mental mistakes down the stretch. We were up and then ended up losing to a close one. So kind of just that get back throughout the rest of the season, and then, playing my best ball, taking off when I had to, and then the preparation for that game was don't go into it thinking, we have to win. Of course we have to win, but at the end of the day, it's football, if I think like that and I feel like if I lose, the world is over, then I feel like I'm going to crumble. And that's kind of the biggest win for me so far. But like you said, I feel like my biggest win is definitely ahead of me.
And Chris, before I go back to Coach, I wanted to ask you about your receivers. You mentioned Gabe Nunez. He had a million receptions, but I feel like this year you might have a good complement of a bunch of good receivers. How would you kind of describe the receiving corps? Because you probably have a bunch of guys you feel confident throwing the football to.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that's on the field with me at this point, I kind of feel once the ball is ready, and I feel hungry is kind of the biggest word, but it's not being selfish. Everybody wants to go get a piece of the pie. And I feel when, my guy DJ or Sean, they're going up and getting touchdown, and now defense, okay, I have to worry about DJ, now it's going to open up Braden to Cleve. So I kind of feel just having that versatility is kind of going to make the game so much more fun, and everybody is going to get some love.
And I got got to mention Hector too, because otherwise there'll be a fight when he gets home.
Sorry.
So Hector too.
Yeah, Hector's been a big piece, and then
and the running backs.
Yeah.
It's just nice to have like all those different guys this year, where pass, run, different personnel groupings, and different guys with different skill sets.
Yeah.
Chris, actually, one more follow-up question for Chris, because this is very important. Have you had El Nasty, the big burrito? Like, I see the line guys get those.
So I haven't had an El Nasty. I feel like there's some games where I've laid the hat on the pool. So, I kind of feel like my name could be in the mix sometimes, but no, not yet. But I heard it's a nasty burrito that I want to enjoy.
Remember, the best game's in front of them, so maybe the El Nasty's coming up. It just may be.
I'm working.
I think so. I think we're on to something. So, Coach, logistically, going to Utah and playing Dixie, when do you guys leave? Is it a ton of preparation? Make sure Chris has the right cleats. Make sure everyone's got their gloves and enough tape and Gatorade and water or whatever else you need. I mean, is it a big undertaking to go that far out of state?
Yes and no. Like, we're pretty organized as a staff. Making sure that there's a checklist of things to pack, because we're not coming back to grab a jersey. The number 2 shouldn't be left. But just that, and just also just making sure that we've got not a bunch of downtime. Some things planned when we're there, and we've got some fun stuff that we're going to be doing that we'll show while we're away. There's some pretty cool things with a stop at UNLV. We're going to spend some time at Utah Tech, but at the end of the day, we are going in there to play an interstate football game against a rival state that plays pretty good football, we think. Dixie High School's played some top 25 teams in their first 4 games, and so we're excited about the opportunity to travel, and this kind of opening the door for future teams to be able to go on the road at Beaumont High School.
And is this the first one for Beaumont to go outside of California?
This is the first time the football program's gone out of state.
Yep.
And I was going to ask you about Dixie. I haven't looked them up or anything, but it sounds like they're actually a pretty good team. Like, this is going to be a tough opponent.
Good program. They're, I think, 1-3 right now. They, like I said, the losses they've had have been to top teams from the state. They look like they're a pretty solid team, well coached. Mm-hmm. It's their homecoming when we go, so those are all great things to get ready for.
All right, finally, Coach, I've been hearing from a lot of people, that maybe quarterback's not the most important position, not the offensive line, not a strong secondary. It's the ball boy that really carries a team. That's the difference. Not even the head coach. Coach can't make all the plays. It's the ball boy. Is that true?
He is an important part of the team, and he found out last Friday when, he's treated just like any of the other players. He got yelled at by a coach. He took it pretty well, and I guess it was kind of nice. The next day, he had some lifesavers from the coach. So he's not immune to that stuff either.
Everybody's fair game, right?
What's that?
Everybody's fair game. If you're a part of the team, you're fair game. Well, guys, listen, man, safe travels out there to Utah. I really appreciate the time. Chris, congrats on all the success so far. And, Coach, thank you for always making time for me on the Inland Sports Show. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully the next time I see you or talk to you, you'll be at least 4-0 after this game against Dixie.
We hope so. Yeah. Thanks a lot for all you do.
Hey, it's my pleasure, Coach. Love covering you guys. Love covering the IE. Really appreciate it. That is Chris Cooper, the quarterback, Jason, the ball boy, and head coach Jeff Steinberg, of course, of the Beaumont Cougars here on the Inland Sports Show. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks.
Inland Sports. All right, Coach Steinberg, Chris Cooper, and Jason joining us here on the Inland Sports Show. Best of luck to the Cougs as they go on the road to Utah. When we come back here, we'll have Riverside Sport Hall of Fame President Jennifer Goldware. That is next here on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. We'll be right back. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco. #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Rialto, right off the 210 freeway at Ayala Drive. Eat more chicken.
Parents, how do you know if you're taking the right approach to your child's athletic development? As your child grows and continues on their athletic journey, make sure you're keeping the end in mind. Now, I'm not talking about the NFL, the MLB, or NBA. I'm talking about long-term athletic development, an evidence-based approach to athletic training that includes progressive development over time. This is how athletic development should be, as it prevents burnout, helps kids stay healthy, and maintain a love of the game. If you want to know more about long-term athletic development, make sure you check out this month's blog at boosttrainingsystems.com. Boost Man.
The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun. And welcome back, everybody, to the Inland Sports Show. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. If you're watching this, make sure you're subscribing to the Inland Sports YouTube channel. Give this video a like, and we also have a thanks button, so don't be shy. Right now on our show, we've got the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame president, Jennifer Goldware. She takes over for the great Jerry Hurley, and Jerry is still involved with the Hall of Fame, but Jennifer Goldware now the president, and Jeff Gorham, yes, that Jeff Gorham, somehow is the vice president of the Hall of Fame as well. We talk about the Hall of Fame's involvement in the local community, drumming up community support. And of course, man, there has been some legends to come out of Riverside. Athletes, coaches, some really big names. And the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame does such a great job acknowledging those folks and honoring them. And the ceremony each and every year is in the month of May, so we can look forward to another one in 2024. But right now, they're really getting involved with high school football, trying to get plugged in even more to the local community, and again, drumming up support to drive up the memberships to be part of the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame. Here's our interview with President Jennifer Goldware. Inland Sports. Now, join us here on the Inland Sports Show. She is the president of the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame, Jennifer Goldware. And Jennifer, thanks first off for hopping on the show, talking about the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame. I got to ask you though, Jeff Gorham is the vice president. How did that happen? Was there no one else available? How does that even come to pass?
Well, a little bird told me that there was some interest there, and I got to be honest. I did reach out to him and asked him if he would like to be vice president. So guilty as charged.
I just assumed he was like the last option, but okay. We love Big Jeff. But Jennifer, the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame, I would say maybe in the last 5 years, and COVID kind of really threw a wrench into everything. But I mean, it just needed stability, right? The Riverside Sport Hall of Fame just needed some stability to have the annual ceremony, to be relevant in the community. People need to be aware of it. How would you say that maybe the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame has and is growing right now to, be that great Hall of Fame that we know it can and used to be?
Well, there's a strong support that we've been building since coming back from COVID. Obviously, COVID hurt as far as just being out in the community. So since being back, there's been a big push for getting all of the schools involved, a big membership push drive, being in front of people. So they know the importance and the history of the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame that has, been in place since 2002, has inducted over, 100 some honorees into the Hall of Fame, members of the Wall of Distinction. It's an important part of the city of Riverside, brings honor to the city of Riverside, and it needs to continue on. So there's been a big push on my part, as well as the executive board, to really be out there and letting people know that we're still here, and everybody needs to be a part of it. Everyone should be a part of it.
Mm-hmm. When you say be out there, do you mean like going to like high school football games and being, in front of the public like that?
Yeah, high school games, sporting events, really letting the athletes, student athletes, athletes from the colleges, the district know that the Hall of Fame is behind them and supports them in all of their endeavors. On a relative side to that is the fact that the Sports Hall of Fame gives scholarships to student athletes within the district and the colleges every year. And that is something that we're very proud of. We've provided over $100,000 to different student athletes throughout the years. And we want to continue to do that and make those scholarships meaningful and worthwhile, quite frankly. Mm-hmm. And one of the ways to do that is through our members.
Jennifer, obviously the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame honors, the all-time greats that have ties, roots here in Riverside. But, you keep bringing up the community and, the prep high school athletes and in the local high schools and whatnot, and giving out the scholarships. Why do you think it's important, to reach out and connect with that younger generation and the young athletes coming up here in the city of Riverside? Because even at the ceremony, you guys, I'm probably getting this wrong, is it the Walk of Champions? I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, but you parade the high school stars through there because it's a big deal. I mean, they could be future Hall of Famers.
Absolutely, it is a huge deal. We start every induction ceremony each year with the Parade of Champions, and it always starts with the student athletes that we're honoring. It's always a male, a female athlete from every school that is chosen and voted upon by the people at their individual school, whether it's the coaches, athletes, staff, their peers. So it is a big deal, and it's important to acknowledge them. Those are future Hall of Famers. Many of those student athletes that have walked in the past are now on our Wall of Distinction. Some are now in our Hall of Fame. And it's an added support, and it brings honor to their accomplishments and honor to the city of Riverside, and they need to be recognized for that.
Now, Jennifer, please correct me if I'm wrong. Is this your second stint
with the Hall of Fame
and as president?
It is. I was past president in 2013, 2014, and back again, and will probably be in this role for some time.
Well, what
Jerry needed a break, so
yes, we love Jerry.
We love Jerry. Jerry is all things when it comes to sports, athletics, and the history of it here in Riverside. Jerry Hurley is, excuse me, it's my cat.
I got one that looks just like it. His name's Nacho.
For the Hall of Fame and literally for the city of Riverside.
Yeah.
But it was, I think he wanted to take a step down. He is still, Jerry and I meet weekly. But yeah, I will be in this role for a bit.
Yeah, Jerry's a great guy and really stepped in. I think when the Hall of Fame was kind of in a rocky situation, people didn't know, like, hey, are we having a ceremony this year? Is there another Hall of Fame class? So, man, I can't say enough great things about Jerry. Just let's not have anything happen to you, because we can't have Jeff step in and be president. Like, that would be the worst case scenario.
Don't worry. I might be. People are saying I might be the new Jerry for some time. So I'm here for a while.
Well, Jennifer, why is the Hall of Fame important to you? Obviously, you did it before. You're doing it again. Like, you could spend your time doing probably a million other things. Why is it the Hall of Fame? Why does it mean so much to you?
Well, on a personal note, the Hall of Fame is personal to me. Obviously, I got involved because of my father. Mm-hmm. Something that has been important to him. Sports in general is a passion of mine. The love for the city is also a passion of mine and is strong in my family. So I got involved originally because of him, and it's just become something that is extremely important to me. It's extremely important to me to keep the Hall of Fame alive. And it's the best. We like to, those of us on the board like to say it's kind of the best little hidden gem secret in Riverside that everybody knows about but doesn't know about. And we kind of need to change that a little bit so that everybody does know about it.
Yeah, there are so many great athletes and coaches that come from Riverside. It is unbelievable, and
we just recognized too this past year, Coach Stalder.
Yes, legends.
Yeah. Legends.
Yeah, legends. So I mean, I can only imagine how difficult those conversations are when you're trying to choose the next class in terms of. I don't know how many years you can still go back, and there's probably a lot of names to pick from. It's like, wow, how do we do this? How do we narrow it down? Because there's just so many great athletes and coaches and contributors.
We have lists that are always compiled, and then a completely separate committee that goes through the names and nominations before they even come to the board. Many. And we have, just now off the top of my head, we probably have lists that we could go 3-4 years out without even, adding someone new. We're always getting nominations and people wanting to be nominated all the time. But there are so many amazing athletes that have come out of our city and who've also not only made our city proud, but have given back to our city, who come back still and speak and are proud to be in the Hall of Fame. And that's something that I think is a testament to the integrity and what the Hall of Fame has always represented and will continue to represent.
Mm-hmm. All right, finally, Jennifer, if there's folks out there watching this and they want to get involved, because obviously community support is a big thing for the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame, how do they get more information? How can they become members? What would you recommend?
they can always contact me directly, but the easiest way is to go to our website, which is www.riversidesporthalloffame.com. And you can go online there to become a member. And my personal information is on that website as well. So you can always reach out to me directly, or to Jeff or to Jerry, any other members of the board, John Corona, Coach Stalder, Del Roberts, Stan Morrison, Josh Tanay from CBU, Scott Hooks, my father, Nick Goldware. Any of those people are easy to get in touch with and to become a member. And we have different membership levels as well. So to become a member, it's $100 a year. $500 would make you an associate member, and that also gets you tickets to our annual induction ceremony. $1,500 platinum membership, and that will get you a table to the induction ceremony as well. Also, with each membership this year, it gives you free tickets into any RUSD high school football game, and RCCs as well.
Oh, very good. So lots of perks. Giving back
Correct.
and doing something good and getting some perks in return. Jennifer, listen, I really appreciate it. Please tell Jeff I said hello. In fact, I'll see him this week for high school football. But...
I think you see him more than I do.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think I do.
Right?
I just like to mess with him. Jeff and I are BFFs, but I like to mess with him. Well, Jennifer, awesome. Appreciate the time. Best of luck with the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame. And if there's anything Inland Sports can do on our end, please let us know.
Absolutely. Thanks, Pat.
You got it. That's Jennifer Goldware, the president of the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame, here on the Inland Sports. Inland Sports. And that was Riverside Sport Hall of Fame President Jennifer Goldware breaking it all down. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, we will talk some high school football, and we will debut the Week 1 winners of Alexander Mattison's I Am Gifted Award for one boy and one girl. That's next here on the Inland Sports Show.
Parents, how do you know if you're taking the right approach to your child's athletic development? As your child grows and continues on their athletic journey, make sure you're keeping the end in mind. Now, I'm not talking about the NFL, the MLB, or NBA. I'm talking about long-term athletic development, an evidence-based approach to athletic training that includes progressive development over time. This is how athletic development should be, as it prevents burnout, helps kids stay healthy, and maintain a love of the game. If you want to know more about long-term athletic development, make sure you check out this month's blog at boosttrainingsystems.com. Boost man.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Rialto, right off the 210 freeway at Ayala Drive. Eat more chicken. Inland Sports. But over 92,000 fans showed up for a University of Nebraska volleyball match inside the football stadium, and it actually set a new world record for a women's sporting event. It was unbelievable. Nebraska, if you're, a college basketball fan, and you know like Duke and North Carolina, Kansas, or some of those big-time programs in college hoops, Nebraska is the same thing to women's volleyball. So they love volleyball. This is a 5-time national champion, and they absolutely packed that football stadium. LSU taking on Florida State. Not only does this have national title implications, but the starting quarterback for the LSU Bengal Tigers, our own guy, Jaden Daniels, the pride of Cajon High School in San Bernardino, also maybe one of the favorites to win the Heisman Trophy this year as the starting quarterback for LSU.
Man, an IE kid winning the Heisman could be so cool, but it is so much fun to watch Jaden. It's really, honestly, yes, it's two powerhouses going at it, but the real reason I'm watching is under center, man. Let's watch our boy, see what he can do.
Inland Sports. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, hanging out with my boy Patrick in the morning on KCAL 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday morning. I hope you will join us. All right. Man, really excited about this. Alexander Mattison and his I Am Gifted brand doing something really cool for the local community, specifically in his hometown of San Bernardino. He is recognizing one boy and one girl, student athlete, each week throughout the fall season. So there's going to be I Am Gifted Athletes of the Week every week leading up till, I think, through December something. And there's a nice little award at the end of the year for the overall athlete of the year. But this is our debut. This is the week 1 winner. So Alexander Mattison, who is getting ready for the Vikings season opener right now, did this for the Inland Sports Show as he names the week 1 I Am Gifted winners. So, Alex, without further ado, take it away.
Hey, what's up? It's Alexander Mattison, running back from the Minnesota Vikings. And this week's I Am Gifted Athlete of the Week for the females goes to Danielle Villanueva from San Bernardino High School, who is carrying a 4.0 GPA while leading her team as captain and school mayor. Let's not also forget to mention that she led SBHS to 2 wins over school rivals last week, Royal Valley and Sanji. Congratulations, Danielle. This week's male I Am Gifted Athlete of the Week goes to Ronald Weather from Arroyo Valley High School, who had 9 carries for 216 yards and 3 touchdowns, 1 reception for 18 yards and a touchdown, as Arroyo Valley defeated O'Farrell Charter 45-0. Congratulations, Ronald. Skol Vikings.
All right, congratulations to Danielle and Ronald, the week 1 winners of the I Am Gifted Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Alexander Mattison. We will do this each and every week right here on the Inland Sports Show. We will also post on Inland Sports social media, so check it out. Congratulations to those two. All right, back to high school football. This is specific to football. We do our weekly Inland Sports All-Stars. We pick 5 players each and every week. Here's our 5 guys for week number 2. If you haven't seen already, Hassan Longstreet, quarterback at Centennial, ran for 5 touchdowns and also threw the game-winning touchdown to Jason Harris to beat Punahou from Hawaii at the Honor Bowl. Jaden Eddy, monster game for Temecula Valley on both sides of the football. 3 touchdowns rushing, had 2 sacks, an interception. Judah Castillo helping Corona pick up a couple early season victories and a big win against Monte Vista. He had 111 on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Riker Galvan from King High School, all over the place. Over 200 all-purpose yards, including a 99-yard interception return for a touchdown, helping the Wolves beat Ramona. And Kaiser running back Kyle Shine, 146 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns in a big win against Paloma Valley. So those are the week 2 All-Stars, our 5 players for this week. Well, we just mentioned Hassan Longstreet, the quarterback for Centennial. He also brought us the Big Boost Play of the Week. Check it out.
Inland Sports.
Let's take you to the Honor Bowl. Centennial trailing Punahou by a score of 43-42. Longstreet to Harris, back of the end zone. Game over, just about. There's a couple seconds left. I think 4 seconds left in the game. But Longstreet to Harris, that's the Big Boost Play of the Week, giving Centennial the victory against a team who traditionally very strong from the state of Hawaii. So big win for Centennial this past Saturday night at the Honor Bowl. Congratulations to the Huskies. All right, now we're moving on to the Boost Top 25 poll. We appreciate you guys getting involved on social media, giving us your input, saying, hey, there's a lot of 3-0 teams that belong in your Top 25 poll. Redlands, San Gorgonio, who am I missing? Who else is undefeated that deserves to be in the top 25? The question is, and I ask this each and every time someone asks me to add a team to the top 25, that's fine. I'm not saying you're wrong. Maybe you're right. But which team do we take out of the top 25 to make room for your team in the top 25? Think about that. Here we go. Top 25, Centennial still number 1, Cajon number 2, but they got a big one coming up against Aquinas, who dips down to number 11 right now after a 1-2 start. Murrieta Valley, Chaparral, Vista Murrieta, Roosevelt, all from the land of the Big West Conference, coming in at 3, 4, 5, 6. Orange Vista in at number 7. Citrus Valley, Beaumont, Liberty round out the top 10. Cougars climbing up to number 9, man. They've had some impressive victories, scoring a lot of points early on in the season. On the other side, 11 through 25 gets a little more difficult. Aquinas at 11, Rancho Verde and Yucaipa in at 3-0, but I would say after that it starts getting very difficult between 14 to 25. I gotta be honest, I'm not super confident in that order. There might be some teams not listed or not ranked right now that belong in the top 25. So a lot will be decided, I think, in the next couple of weeks, but it is really difficult to rank these teams right now. There's teams that look really good, but they haven't really beat anybody. And there's teams that have played some really daunting non-league schedules, and their record just doesn't really show it. So how do you balance all that out? So anyways, that's the Boost Top 25 poll after week 2. I'm going to hazard a guess that it's going to look a lot different come week 3, as we have some big games this week that will decide a lot in the Boost Top 25 rankings. All right, our Akin Sporting Goods must-see game this week pits 2 local coaches, 2 of the top coaches, but they don't have a win right now. Santiago taking on Norco. We got Bert Esposito with the Sharks. We got Dan Barledge with the Cougars. Both those guys, longtime local coaches, trying to get their first win with their new program. One of these guys will do it. It's Santiago in Norco. Great coaching battle, great matchup against Norco in our Akin Sporting Goods must-see game this week. And we also got, we got a whole slate of great games coming up in week number 3. Non-league play continues, and we got some big ones. Cajon versus Aquinas, that tops the list. That's Thursday night, so if you're watching us live and amplified, that's tomorrow night. We got Beaumont going out of state to Dixie in Utah. We got Centennial going out of state to Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas. Bishop Gorman, according to Max Preps at least, number 2 in the entire nation, only behind Mater Dei, and Centennial checks in around, I think they were number 13 or 14, so 2 of the top teams in the country. Any way you slice it, going head-to-head in Vegas. San Jacinto taking on Rancho Verdes. The Jack trying to get their first win of the year. The Rancho Verdes undefeated. Great matchup there. Heritage versus Paloma Valley in the Menifee Bowl. Throw the records out the window. Always a fun time down in the Fee. Oak Hills taking on Citrus Valley. Tough test for the Blackhawks. We'll see if Citrus Valley is that good. That'll be a tough test. And Chaparral taking on Temecula Valley. Always big-time bragging rights in the city of Temecula. And this one will be no different between Temecula Valley and Chaparral. And for all your scores and highlights, so we got some interviews, all kinds of good stuff. It's Friday night. the Friday Night Pep Rally on Riverside TV. Myself, the Big Jeezy, Jeff Gorham. You can join us on Riverside TV, YouTube, and Facebook. The only live high school football show in the IE, originating in the Riv. Hashtag the Riv, right? So the Friday Night Pep Rally. I hope you'll join us. 11 o'clock, scores, highlights, and interviews and analysis. We'll throw some opinion in there as well. So that is Friday night. And before we go, big shout out to Liberty head coach Adam Contreras. I was texting with him right as the show started, and he was actually hanging out with our Friday Night Pep Rally director, Jason. They sent me a selfie. And I was like, Coach, I know you're on baby watch any day now. And he said, no baby yet. He said the due date was yesterday on Tuesday, so any day now. So we'll see if Coach Contreras is on the sidelines on Friday night for Liberty, or maybe the baby will have come already. Baby number 2 for the Contreras family. Congratulations to them. All right, my name is Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in at this at-home edition. We will be back in the Teen Vision TV 16 studio next week. Johnny Boy is super busy with these back-to-school nights and other board meetings and all kinds of stuff, but we'll dig back in the studio come next week. Make sure you give this video a like, subscribe to the Inland Sports YouTube channel. We also have a thanks button if you'd like to take your support to the next level. We would certainly appreciate that. My name is Pep Fernandez. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.